Welcome to the grind. It's John's time to shine. From mindful moves to a body divine, sweat, grit, and laughs. It's all on display. 9 months to crush it, the men's mindful way. So grab your gear and join the bride. John's getting ripped. Mind and body collide. Hey, everybody. We're having more fun here at Men Talking Mindfulness. John, we're going to document something very new today, this year. The first time we're actually documenting anything. John has decided to do a fitness challenge that ends in a physique competition in Denver in August. And we thought we'd do a monthly episode, a short one, just to collect and document John's progress through this journey. So, hey, John, how you feeling about all this?
I feel a little silly, but I also feel excited. And there's even a little bit of nervous energy around it all. And it's still what's today? Today's the 9th, isn't it? Today we're recording here on January 9th, and it is it's on August 9th. So 7 months away.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's 8. Yeah, 8, right?
Yeah.
It'll probably be. Wow. Okay, so you got 8 months. Well, tell us about the big why. Where does it all come from?
Yeah. Well, I've been wanting. So I was in shape in the military. In the SEAL teams, it's kind of expected to stay in shape. It's a liability not to be in shape. Mm. And honestly, also not only a liability, but we're really hard on one another. If somebody starts putting on too much weight, we mock one another, which is not necessarily the greatest thing. I don't claim it to be the safest, the psychological space in the world is in the SEAL teams. But most of it is in good fun. Anyway, I was in really good shape in 2018. Well, 2017, my wife had our first little girl, and in 2018, she had surgery that was there to remove a massive tumor on her liver. Mm. And I transferred, while I was still in the Navy, I transferred from Naval Special Warfare, which is the Navy SEAL community and the Naval Special Warfare combatant craft crewmen, the boat drivers, who are also another set of total badasses. Mm. I transitioned from that into more of an administrative role because of my daughter, because of one, having her, and I didn't want to deploy to combat anymore. And two is that she had these medical challenges. So I wanted to be there to support her and my wife in going through all this. So I transferred to a more administrative role outside of Naval Special Warfare. And now I started getting into worse shape. I wasn't working out as much. It wasn't much of a priority. The family and the job became the priority. And again, this job was different, so I didn't have to work out as much. And then I retired in 2020, and COVID clearly was front of mind for everyone. And I retired, and we moved out to Colorado, and I started getting into what we do with the show Men Talking Mindfulness. And what I was trying to do was build a business of my own. And I just sunk myself fully into work and family. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'll get to the gym next week. And next week became next month, and next month became next year. And here we are in 2020. And since I retired in August of 2020, I weighed 195 pounds. And when I retired, and 195 was, I put on 10 pounds between 2018 and 2020. So I was 185 in 2018, 195 in 2020. And then since then, I've gone from 2020, I'm losing all my numbers. I've gone from 195 to 235.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's so put on 40 pounds in 4 years.
That's a lot. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
wow.
And you don't notice
50 pounds over 5. That's
a
lot. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's 10 pounds per year.
Yeah,
not even really thinking about it. Like stepping on the scale and be like, okay, I gained 0.1 pound. Well, that over a year, that adds up.
Yeah,
and then Teresa Larson, our good friend and business partner, I went and did a run with her. Shit, it must have been early November, maybe late October. It was like 2 miles. And I was hurting.
Yeah.
And it wasn't fast, wasn't far. And then Becca, my wife, and my 3 kids and we all went to Hawaii in November, and we went to the beach. And I looked in the mirror and I was embarrassed to take my shirt off to go on the beach. And then
is that the first time it's ever happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, we went to Cancun last March or April, and I was a little embarrassed then too.
Okay.
And I want to front load this.
Yeah.
This is just how I feel about my body. Okay.
Yeah.
I know that there are people who are bigger than me and they are perfectly comfortable in their skin, and I applaud them. I am personally not comfortable when I'm higher than, 205 pounds or something. And it's not just physically uncomfortable. Like, yes, my joints start to hurt. It's harder to run, all these things, but also psychologically, I'm not comfortable. And that might be my own challenge. So I want to put that out there for everyone.
Yeah.
But then, so I was uncomfortable taking my shirt off in Cancun last March. And then this November, I was uncomfortable taking my shirt off. And then add to that, Beck and I have a couple that we're friends with, and the man of the couple is a bodybuilder, and they live in Hawaii. And they come, and the guy literally, they met us on a Sunday, and the Saturday night prior to meeting us, he had a competition. So he's like in tip top shape, and he shows up and he takes his shirt off, and I'm like, oh, man, here I am looking different. Like I don't feel I feel good enough to take my shirt off.
Right.
So I talked to him. I was like, man, I'm struggling physically. I mean, the last time he saw me, I was in much better shape. I think I'd seen him back in like 2015, and I was, 9% body fat. Like I was lean and feeling really good about myself. And I was like, man, I've really struggled to get back into the gym. I've struggled to eat properly because with 3 young kids, I eat the leftovers. So there's lots of leftover mac and cheese, lots of leftover chicken nuggets. And then I've
heard you a couple times talk about, my dad bod, and talk about the extra food that you're consuming. You know what I mean? It's like dad bod, and you just can't help it. It's just like, you're like the one step from the garbage can.
Right. Yeah. And I grew up, my dad taught me, hey, don't ever leave any food on your plate. Eat everything that you put on your plate.
True.
Which is, I understand the motivation there is to, hey, don't waste food. Yeah. But it's also like, if I throw this food away or I put it in my belly, what's the difference, right? It doesn't make a difference to somebody that's starving on the street or somebody that's starving over in a third world country anywhere. Yeah, but psychologically, for me, it's tough to throw food away.
Yeah. We'll get back to this dude on the beach. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So dude on the beach, I'm like, hey man, I've struggled. And, he's like, well, you need to put something big on your calendar, some big physical challenge.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I did this half Ironman against Andy Reese, a guest that we've had on the show before.
Yeah, he's a great dude.
And all that training was fun. And I did lose weight, but I didn't lose the fat. Like I still was able to run and bike with this fat. And I was like, man, I've done it before, and it still doesn't keep me from eating. He's like, well, you've got to sign up for something that makes you change your eating habits. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, sign up for a physique competition. I was like, dude, I'm not in shape, in good enough shape to sign up for a physique competition. He's like, that's the point. You got to get in shape. You got to work out and eat clean and, apply some effort and discipline. And then from there, your body will come, and it starts in the kitchen. And I was like, well, that's where my belly starts too, right?
Yeah.
It starts in the kitchen, like eating all those leftovers, and I've got a hell of a sweet tooth. So that is what inspired me. He jumped on the computer that afternoon and he found a competition right here in Denver. I live in Colorado Springs, and it's like an hour away, and it's in August. It's 10 days before my 48th birthday. And I was like, all right,
done.
I'm sold. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And so that was back in, it must have been around November 15th or so. And since then I've lost 15 pounds. Yeah. I feel a lot stronger.
Yeah.
I have gotten help. There's a fellow Navy SEAL that lives here in Colorado Springs, and he runs a men's health clinic. So I've gotten testosterone replacement therapy, and I'm on this other one called, I'm going to totally butcher the name of this, but it's Semarilyn, something like that. But basically it's an injection that you take 5 days a week, and it helps to increase naturally produced human growth hormone.
Wow. All right.
So I feel that I'm getting back in shape. I'm feeling like I'm being able to run again, being able to lift. I'm seeing massive gains in the gym.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into that. So it's like, what is, so what is like the goal, like on a day or a week, around, like, just how about your workout schedule? Yeah. Like, what are you doing to work out? You know what I mean? To start. You're
going to be like, I know what you're going to say to this. You're going to say, of course. So I punched into ChatGPT. I said,
course.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
say, yeah, there you go. I said, okay, it's November, 15th. And I've got until August 9th to get down from my weight to a goal weight of, let me see, 190. I'm looking at my calendar over here.
190 is the goal. Okay. 190 is the goal.
190 is the goal. And I want to get down to 8.2% body fat.
And okay. You know where you're at now?
I'm at 29.2.
Wow, 29.2.
And that was,
you're going down
so I've got a DEXA scan up here in front of me.
Yeah, okay.
That was on the 3rd, so 6 days ago.
Okay.
So 29.2. And I was
sorry.
No, dude.
It sounds like a lot, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, relative to where I want to get, right?
Right.
So anyhow, I put in the ChatGPT, hey, and this was back in November, so I was probably 31%, maybe 32%. And I said, hey, I want to compete in a competition this date. And I said, I want to focus on these muscles, like traps, shoulders, lats, abs, quads, and calves, and chest. And I said, hey, write me a workout plan. And it's literally every single day I open up ChatGPT. I'm like, okay, what's the plan?
Wow.
And it'll type it out, which is pretty cool because I'll go to the gym when I'm traveling and I'll be like, hey, I'm at a hotel gym. This is what's available to me. And it'll be like, okay, based on the fact that all you have is a treadmill, a bench, some dumbbells, and a ab ball or something.
Yeah.
It'll give me something. And so I don't have to think about it, right? It's kind of like having a personal trainer in my pocket.
Great.
So my workout is primarily those muscles, a lot of bench press, shoulder work, trap work, like the shoulder shrugs,
right?
Leg press, squats, this kind of stuff. But I'm adding cardio, and it's not a whole lot of heavy weight. So I do 3 sets of everything. The first 2 sets are to fatigue on everything. So that, that's normally somewhere between 12 and 18 reps of everything. Yeah. And then the last set is I drop it. It's a drop set to failure. So that drop set is like 75% of what I was lifting, and I do it to complete failure on everything every day. Awesome. And I'm sure there's going to be some people who listen to this and they're like, that is totally jacked up, but that's what ChatGPT is telling me.
Yeah, I know. Well, well, I'm sure we're going to get a lot of comments, and thank you for everyone that's commented. John, do this. And you know what? And stuff might change. You know what I mean? Like
totally.
Things might change.
If there are some experts listening,
please
give me some advice.
Yeah, we would love your support. What about diet?
So diet, kind of I use this app called Macro Factor. And Macro Factor is an AI-driven food input app, basically.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, of course it's AI-driven, right? So, I used to use this one called MyFitnessPal, but it didn't change.
Yeah.
And so Macro Factor, and I'm not trying not to sell this, but I'm just telling you what I'm using.
Whatever, yeah.
Macro Factor app, you input what you eat through the day, and it tells you what your macros should be and your caloric intake based on your goals. So I put, again, by August, I want to weigh 190 pounds. Yeah. And I want to, be this body fat percentage. And it says, okay, based on that, you should be eating way less carbs.
Right. Exactly.
Way fewer calories. And it breaks it down. And then every day I step on the scale, and on Sunday, every week, it adjusts my macros. So like this week, I was super excited because I gained 35 calories that I could eat. Because it said, hey, you're losing weight too fast. So let's slow down and up your protein, down your carbs. So I'm using that. So basically I'm eating a lot of fish, chicken, eggs, ground beef, and cutting down on the pizza. Have no pizza, have no sweets. That's my weakness.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Chocolate.
Sugar, you're definitely a chocolate, right?
Oh, dude.
Sugar.
Yeah,
Even like
it.
soda and stuff like that. Like I've seen you've even talked about it a little bit, not necessarily on the show, but between us, it's like, you just almost get sugar cravings.
Oh, totally, man. And I mean, honest to God, I binge eat sometimes. Like the kids, they'll have Halloween candy around.
Oh, that's
and
it,
I'll
man.
be like, hey, that bucket of chocolate looks good to me.
So what are some of your tactics and, strategies around that? You know what I mean? 'Cause that's got to be really tough. I mean, the kids aren't going anywhere.
No, they're not. But now I have a goal, and I'm very goal oriented. And once I have a goal in mind, I can really buckle down. And so I've cut out sweets completely, 100%. I don't eat the sweets. And the first week or so, that was hard. But then, I started to see changes. I didn't start to see changes in my body right away, but I started to see changes in my face. And I mean, we met earlier, and you guys even commented on it. My jowls right here, they're shrinking, and the bags under my eyes are shrinking. Just the standard stuff.
You look younger.
Yeah,
I mean, your hair looks healthier, to be honest. I mean, you just look healthier.
Thank you.
No, that's serious. I mean, I see you all the fucking time, John.
Yeah,
it's like,
I appreciate
John's
that.
John are in a marriage. I mean, I see this guy all the. I mean, I love you, John.
We've seen one another 4 times today, I think.
Exactly. And yesterday, 3 times. Anyway, but anyway.
So I cut that out completely, and that was my first sign. Hey, okay, the freaking sweets, that's the danger.
Right.
And then I, as vain as this may sound, within that macro factor app, I take a picture every few days.
Yeah.
It shows me my progress, because you start to lose track of your progress. You're like, oh, I still look the same. Well, when you compare a picture of yourself today versus November, if you've been hitting the gym and you've been eating right, you can see the difference. So I think that's what's been driving my discipline.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, it's early too. I mean, I'm so glad we're documenting this, every month, because we're really going to check in, every month, and to see where you're at. And because some of the questions I have, it's like, getting into, how you feeling emotionally about this right now? I could tell you're obviously inspired, and you're really kind of driven, and obviously it's very working, and you must feel kind of great about it,
Yeah. But, I mean, definitely I do feel good about committing to something. I've always had some type of goal, and that feels good. Yeah. Now I just need to follow through. I have also committed to things in the past and not followed through. Or I've lost weight before and then gained it right back. And it's, again, not all about the weight. It's about how I feel. Yeah. I have 3 young kids. That's another motivating factor. 3 young kids that I want to be present for in life. And that's longevity, right? So I want to increase my movement. I want to sleep better so that I'm more present with them and more playful. And then, just running with the 3 kids, they expect me to sprint around, and, I'm not able to do that at 240 pounds, but I can do that at 215. I can do that at 200. And, I just have more energy. So physically, I feel better. How I feel emotionally, I still feel a little intimidated by the stage, standing up on stage, flexing. That's not what I feel comfortable doing.
I'm going to be there to document it, John.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm definitely coming to fucking Denver. Oh, I'm definitely doing this. I mean, how can I not? We're going to do this docu-series, and I'm not going to go to Denver?
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah. I'm coming. So that final series, final episode will be the actual event.
Yeah.
The one thing I struggle with still is spaghetti, man. I love spaghetti.
Carbs, man.
Yeah. So
the one thing we learned, think about, we learned from Molly, right? I'm sorry, that processed flour behaves like sugar.
It does, 100%.
And it creates very little satiety in our fullness in our body. So you just eat more. But
yeah. But last night I admit that I did have some spaghetti with meat sauce, but I kept the portion control. Right. Okay. I was like, okay, how much? Normally I would eat a freaking full plate, and then my kids' leftovers. I still ate my kids' leftovers, but I ate a very, very small plate, knowing I was going to eat my kids' leftovers. So, even after that, I went down to the treadmill we have downstairs. We have a Peloton treadmill and a Peloton bike here at my house. And I got on the treadmill for a quick 25-minute run, burned what I thought were the calories from the spaghetti. Now, I didn't do it immediately after, but after it had digested. So, yeah.
What about, I had a question of, I'm looking through other questions here. What about,
No, we're limited.
No, I know. It's all good. It's all good. Are you seeing, even with the weight you lost now, just an enhanced way of being, enhanced way of showing up? Like, are you more clarity? How's your sleep? You know,
my sleep has improved. I'm not getting the deep sleep that I was hoping to. So I'm probably going to go get a sleep study here in the coming weeks. But my sleep has improved. My ability to play with the kids, walking up and down steps here in Colorado. I live at 7,500 feet, and just walking up and down in steps, that would get me out of breath or it would hurt my knees. Now it's not.
Oh, wow.
I went to the playground a couple weeks ago with the kids, and I was able to literally sprint like I haven't done in years.
Wow.
So, physically, I'm feeling a lot better. I would say mentally, there's probably less energy being spent on digesting all this crap. So I haven't really noticed it yet, but if I really took a step back, I'm probably much more there's a clarity that hasn't been there. But yeah, it's an improvement in life, not just an improvement on the scale, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love that you have something on the calendar, something you're moving towards.
Yeah,
something we can talk about, like
right
something
here.
that our community can get on the that's something our community can get on board with as well. One thing I want to say about the community, one way that we're going to capture all this energy, all this excitement, and all this inspiration that John, and he's inspiring me already, is we decided, and we already have a team in a Spartan race in Dallas on October 19th. And everyone is welcome to come to this. It's going to be on our website, mentalkingmindfulness.com. It'll be up by the time this is being produced. And but come join our team. It's going to be a lot of fun to be able to do that together and to celebrate John's John's going to flex for us in Dallas. John,
I got to have another goal right after that.
And I know.
So
yeah.
right after Spartan, we're going to have to figure something else out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I committed to. I'll do something in 2026. I'll do something.
There you go.
I have to. Like, if my partner's going to be doing this, I got to do something next year.
Why don't we do one together?
I would do it. That'd be awesome, and it'd be really fun.
Will's already like at 10% body fat.
Yeah, I think it might be less, dude. Like, I started taking creatine, and dude, I can't believe the muscle I put on. Like,
it's awesome. I'm taking creatine as well.
Oh yeah. It's really made such a huge difference, and just like my power and stuff like that. And I literally, like, after taking about a month of taking creatine, I was like, I got bigger. Like, because I hit the gym like a few days a week. I definitely, I do some good weights, but like I couldn't believe what creatine did. It just really, it put like 3-4 pounds on muscle.
When I see you, we're having our MTM summit here in a couple of weeks here in Colorado Springs. So I got to see you with some gains. You get to see me with some gains.
I know. So. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. We're going to be coming back every month and doing this. I have a whole list of questions we're going to ask, but like, we got your body percent fat. What are you trying to get down to? 8.2, you said?
8.2 by the end of July.
End of July, right.
And actually 7.7.
And you're at like 28% right now.
29.2. Well, yeah. So that was last week.
Ideal weight, you're trying to get 190, you say?
So yeah, probably 185 for the competition, 190 by the end of July.
Just suck it out for the competition. Okay.
Yeah. So I've got this big ass calendar. Jesse Itzler, the endurance athlete, author, speaker, guy who lived with David Goggins for a month and wrote that book. I've got his big ass calendar. So it's 1 year right in front of me that outlines everything. And at the end of every month, I have a goal weight and a goal body fat percentage.
Awesome.
And I have little milestones along the way. And then in big red, I have the competition. So there's no missing it, right? It's right there in front of me every day.
And I'm here to support you, John, of course. Like, and anybody in the community wants to help support. Like, I mean, this is we're doing this because we want to just inspire more of you to kind of maybe take on some sort of challenge like this.
Whatever your challenge is. That's right.
Yeah, whatever it is. It's a new year, but hopefully this will just inspire anybody that's listening. And, and come join. We're going to do a 10K, so 6.2 mile obstacle course in Granbury, Texas, just outside of Dallas. There's going to be 25 obstacles, which some of them include like, wall climb, spear throw, bucket carry, swing, multi-ring thing, a bucket carry, Hercules hoist, inverted wall climb, and many more. So I got to get I'm in pretty good shape, but I've never climbed a rope. I haven't climbed a rope in like a long time. So it's going to be something fun. Anything else, John? I think we really
no. I mean, I know this is the first of many, and you know, in the future, we'll probably a good baseline. I mean, I'll tell you, I've told you my weight, told you my body fat, told you my goals in that.
How you feeling? All that shit.
What my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, but yeah, I think lots more to come in the coming months, and I appreciate you, Will, for inspiring me. This is part of your inspiration too, or rather, you partly inspired me to do this as well. You're like, hey, why don't we document it? And I was like, oh shit, that's another level of accountability right there.
I mean, we have this platform. You know what I mean? Like, so
why not?
Let's make this happen for everybody.
So I appreciate you, brother, and for our audience, for those who are on board for supporting me, I appreciate you all. And maybe we'll see you all out here. Maybe we'll have a little MTM get together in August in Colorado Springs or Denver.
Well, definitely we're definitely gonna have a little get together for the Spartan race. So
that's right.
Have a couple people signed up. So mentalkingmindfulness.com for everybody. I think that's it, John.
That's it. All right, everyone. Thank you, and until next time, peace.
Peace, everybody. Thank you.